It is the most wonderful time of the year, which of course means it is reset week. In particular, this is my yearly reset because we're moving from one year into the next, or essentially a time for me to try and do all of the things that will help me get cool, calm, and collected for the year ahead. Essentially trying to really lean into that fresh slate feeling that we get with a new year by getting my house in order, getting my mind in order, getting my digital spaces as in order as possible, given the fact that I haven't tackled an inbox zero in many moons. To see how I got on though, we're gonna have to jump back to Monday morning. Good morning, happy Monday. I am feeling very much ready to go for the week, in the sense that I'm still kind of half asleep, so I'm tricking myself into getting things done. The main focus for today though is going to be work, and essentially getting as much done so that then the rest of the week is as light as possible. Because yes, it is reset week, but it is also Christmas week and Boxing Day week and all those kind of things. And it's also the last week of my year because my new year starts on the 29th of December. Because I like a Monday start. I like cyclic planning. But thinking a little more concretely, we need to put my laundry on because it's laundry day. Need to get on the walking pad because we want to keep the exercise streak alive. Have some breakfast, get in the shower, and get to work. One of the things that I make sure to do before every reset week to ensure that I tackle the week with focus, clarity, actually get stuff done, is to write myself a reset week checklist. This essentially just breaks down every area of life, and I've got different things that I need to do or want to do in each of them to get that clean slate feeling. The sections that I have on here include home environment, digital environment, we have work, but we also have leisure. We have social, mental health and physical health, digital, mental health and physical health, finances, personal stuff, personal development, which is different, and goals. Some of these things I have already done because I was getting a little worried that I wasn't going to have enough time during reset week to do all of these. And that's also kind of good to know. You don't have to do a whole laundry list of tasks for your reset. And if you want to, you don't have to do them all in one week or one day. I know some people do a reset day and they kind of just focus very much on getting cool, calm, and collected across a 1 day span of time. But because I like to tackle a lot of areas and I want to do a thorough job, I just span it out over a week because then I can pace myself a little better. One of the things we have in the work list though is minimum work. I will be doing maximum work today. I'm gonna get as much done as I can, essentially. So we have to edit last week's vlog. I'm probably gonna hopefully edit at least 2 other videos, preferably more. We'll just have to wait and see what happens because although I can put time estimates on these kind of things, my time estimates aren't always very accurate. But one of the things I appreciate about a Monday morning is that is when the Epic Goals work along is for me. So it just holds me accountable to just staying focused and getting the editing done. So typically it takes less time than it would on any other day. If you wanted to check out the Epic Goals Club or our goal accountability group, then this is the QR code to scan, or there's a link in the description box. But for now, it is time to get into editing. Last week's vlog is all edited now, and I'm in the process of trying to get it uploaded. No idea what I'm gonna give it for a title just yet, but I thought I would give an eatery a second chance, one that I haven't been to in quite a while, because the last time I went, it was not great. It wasn't good. But I was sitting here thinking like, oh gosh, what am I gonna have for lunch? I really don't want to have chips or a burger or Subway again. As much as I have enjoyed Subway, I feel like I'm coming to the end of my time with Subway. And I want to make sure I keep the no KFC streak alive. So I decided to get Noodle Canteen. I got myself a satay chicken noodle stir fry, and it's actually pretty good. My personal preference isn't for chicken in these things, mainly because I don't love the texture of it, but the flavor and the other elements, actually fairly decent. I don't think I'm gonna aim to continue to go to this place just because I'm probably not going to be having as much takeout next year. At least that's the working theory. No, I am actually kind of excited to get back to meal prepping for myself and having less takeout. But not while my video ratio still looks like this. Actually, it's down to 1.22 now because I've uploaded that vlog, even though I still need to do the title and such. But I'm hoping that for the rest of the day I could get at least one more video edited in full. Like, I'm gonna work on it, I already know that, but to have that one up on the channel as well would be pretty sweet. We're coming up to the end of Vlogmas and it's gonna be nice to not spend quite as much of my time video editing and making videos. Like, in general, I enjoy making videos. I enjoy my job, but I'm looking forward to getting back to a release schedule that's a little bit lighter than Vlogmas. And export, there we go. This is the second exporting video for the day, huzzah. And once we get that one uploaded, we will be down to a ratio of 1.11 videos per day for each of the work days remaining before my trip to Korea. I'll probably get the majority of another video edited today though. That'd be pretty sweet. Because as said, the more I do now, the less there is to do the rest of the week. And I want to try and make the rest of the week as chill as possible. You know, chill in the sense that I want rest and recuperation for reset week, but I also do want to have time that I can dedicate to resetting in other areas, not just getting work done. Editing is going well in general, but I have run into a snafu, or a general snag, in that my computer is running out of storage because I have so many video files from the past 2 quarters worth of the Change Your Life series, plus any other files that I have on my computer, video or otherwise. So the first official reset task I'm going to do is digital file related, and that is backing up files to my external hard drives. I also feel like I'm gonna have to get a new external hard drive because I think even that one is running out of space with all of my video files, but I think I might put that one off to Boxing Day. Might be able to get a discount or something on one of them. That'd be kind of nice because we love savings. But that does mean that my video editing has taken pause in favor of doing the file transferring. Rather than just doing the videos right now, I figured I'd do all of my digital file backups at once. I do typically like to do this at the very end of the year, just so that then I know that the entire of the quarter has been captured. But the ones that I've outlined here are videos, thumbnails, photos, templates, and then other. So anything else that I feel needs to be backed up because it's important. We're just gonna start with videos for now and then move on to the thumbnails and other such things. Getting the videos backed up is really just as simple as copying them to my external hard drive, though technically speaking, I would like to go in and organize them into their folders, but I'm kind of thinking that I might need to revamp my organization in there because it's becoming increasingly difficult to find things after the fact. But given the fact that transferring the video files over was gonna take quite a while, I decided to jump straight on into transferring the thumbnails, which definitely did not take as long, but also back up the document that I used to make the thumbnails. That meant saving an updated version of the template, copying over the one I've been using for the past quarter, making sure that that's saved somewhere, and also then once it was backed up, removing all of the temporary parts that I had in there that really are only just for the quarter gone, so I can have a nice clean copy moving forward. Essentially, when it comes to making my thumbnails, I make them all in the same document and just save all of the different parts of any individual thumbnail in one little folder, which means that when you get to the end of a quarter, there is quite a lot going on in that file, especially when you factor in something like Vlogmas, where we have 31 plus videos that all need their own thumbnail. So that document was getting a little large and a little unwieldy. It's nice to know that I'm going to be able to use an updated clean copy moving forward. In terms of backing up the photos, I can't do that until the videos are done because they also get saved on an external hard drive and I only have one spot to plug those in, so have to wait. Something I can do to help myself out though is removing folder entropy or any disorganization that has kind of popped up in just using my computer, in particular focusing on the desktop, my downloads folder, and my documents. Thankfully, the desktop is actually looking pretty clean at the moment. We can delete those ones. All of these video files here are actually corrupted. I was saving them on the hopes that I could fix them, but it doesn't matter anymore. This is a picture I don't need. I have no idea what that is. Ah, it's a video plan. All right, yeah, I don't need that anymore. So we can delete that one. I'm sure I don't need Shocked Pikachu anymore. The Twilight Party food, I kind of just wanted to save the links to the ones that I might want to make at some point. In particular, this Maple Bourbon Smash was a really nice drink, and I haven't tried this Rose cocktail, so I'd like to try that. The mini vol au vents were really good though, so should probably save a link to whichever one I actually ended up using. But rather than just keep that file on the desktop, I'm going to save those links and then remove it. So those can just get saved in the ideas space in my Notion, like the recipe side of my Notion. So Maple Bourbon Smash, and we can put that link in the URL field. Nice. And also just note the fact that it's not actually a meal, it is a drink, so easy, or at least log it as a drink. And I can do the same thing for the Rosalie cocktail, which is a rose quartz cocktail. Now though, we can remove that one from the desktop. Easy. We also have a new journal calculator file here. I was using this one to help me figure out what I wanted to include in my journal, but it seems that none of it actually got saved, so I'm just going to delete this one too. It's all good. I have that one elsewhere on my computer and I can just make another copy. Next up we have my downloads folder, and I've actually been doing a pretty good job of keeping this clear. It only has 19 files and a lot of them are very easy decisions about what gets kept and what doesn't. The biggest risk every time it comes to doing file sorting or whatnot is venturing into a folder with memories. I just jumped into my wedding folder. Foolish Jessica. It is because I had asked people to send me their photos through from the wedding through Google Drive. So something in my downloads folder was the zip folder of all of the Google Drive photos. So I'm like looking through, I'm like, oh, they're so cute. And then I was trying to move them over into my personal photo folders. And then I got distracted by the photos from our photographer and she did such a good job. And I'm looking through all of those going, oh, memories, wonderful. This is not aligned with getting the mission completed. I need to stop. For now though, we're gonna leave that one running because it is time for dinner. Vogel has made us mushroom ravioli, which I'm very much looking forward to. I haven't had homemade ravioli in a while. I say homemade in the sense that like he made the sauce and he did the ravioli through. We didn't like hand make the pasta or anything, but it has been a while and I'm looking forward to it. A most enjoyable dinner, but now it's time to go back to the computer and hopefully that file transferring is done and we can continue with the video editing. Because if I could get one more up, that'd be pretty sweet. Oh look, perfect timing. Another video down and the ratio just keeps getting better. That means my ratio is actually at 1 video per day for the remaining work days, including today though. So I have to do one more today so that then I stay on ratio. Dang it, I was almost really pleased. I mean, I am still pretty pleased though. It's currently 10 past 8. I could probably get the majority of another video done, maybe. That would put me in a really good spot for tomorrow and the days moving forward. So I think we will do Future Jess the favor of continuing to edit now. One of the things I'm most looking forward to for the end of Vlogmas is reclaiming my evenings and not working during them. But for now, back to editing. Oh yes, got another one exporting. And this editing is making me apocalyptically excited for working on reorganizing my B-roll folder so it's actually usable. Look at this, the business bun is a mess. It's barely a business bun, it's a half done through ponytail. Totally counts. But while that one's exporting, I think I'll organize the thumbnail for that one and the other video, and then I'll probably call it a night. It did take longer than intended. It is now 5 past 11, so I'm gonna be going to bed. But it does feel good that both of those videos have their thumbnails, got their titles sorted, because titles also take me a second. And the idea of only having 1 video left to make per day or per work day before our trip feels pretty good. Notably, that means that on the cards for tomorrow, we have at least 1 video to be made. But that also frees up a decent chunk of the day for resetting tasks, which I'm very pleased about. But I won't be doing any resetting if I'm not well rested, so as said, bedtime. Good night. Good morning, happy Tuesday. I'm having a lazy morning because obviously the positive ratio of 1 video per day until we leave has put me in too good a mood and now I'm resting on my laurels. To the extent where it's like 5 minutes to 8 and I haven't done any exercise. But also, lounging in bed, so nice. Got my bottle, got my cola holder, not that I'm planning on having a cola right now, I'm just going to take it downstairs. But on the cards for today, we have more resetting tasks, hopefully. I hope to actually get like genuinely stuck into resetting tasks today. And we also are going to be making at least 1 video because I want to keep that ratio at 1 or lower. Because that will help Future Jess out. She will appreciate it most greatly. The world is soggy outside today, but that's okay because I wasn't planning on going outside. I do enjoy a rainy day though, like when I'm inside and it's raining outside, because typically the temperature's a little lower and I can wear my hoodie and my like, you know, comfy sweater wear and stuff and feel very comfortable. For right now though, no sweater wear, short sleeve shirt, because exercise makes us warm. We don't want to get uncomfy while we're exercising, otherwise we'll be less inclined to continue to do it, and we want to keep the streak alive. Influencer in LA and who hangs out with Jacqueline a lot. The walk is done, yay for keeping the streak alive, and now it is time to prepare for breakfast. Of course, we're having pineapple, but the best before date, according to Vogel, is tomorrow, or like today? I don't know, what's the date today? Yeah, okay, best before today, wah wah. And given we purchased it yesterday, mighty unfortunate. But I did tell him to do it because I'm like, I will just freeze the pineapple, it is totally fine. So we're gonna hack all of this up, politely, cut it into smaller, much more edible pieces, and put it in the freezer. Except the stuff that I'm gonna eat today, because I don't want my overnight oats to be naked. Yes, the baby pineapple fleet. I have the ones that are in today's overnight oats over here, but the rest of them are gonna be going in the freezer. Well, technically speaking, I probably should leave one out to defrost so I can eat it tomorrow. Which begs the question of, do I put it in the freezer now and get it out at the end of the day to defrost in the fridge? Or do I just put it in the fridge and hope? I'm sure it'll be fine. And if it's not, I'll just pretend or I won't eat it because like if there's mold on it, I'm not gonna eat it. It'll be fine. Don't mind my eyes. Rachel just sent me a really nice message and I'm not like, oh my God, friendship. Anyways, so, package day, very exciting. I went and took advantage of one of the kind of like 7 days of Christmas sales that a kind of workout exercise brand was doing and bought myself some proper exercise pants, like leggings. You know, the ones that actually have pockets and such, so there's somewhere for my phone to go as opposed to me just throwing it down beside me or trying to tuck it into my top, which is not very secure. Frustratingly though, they were having a 40% off sale, which is why I got 2 pairs. I'm like, oh, that's a really good saving. And then 2 days later, they're like, oh, for 50 minutes only, we're having a 50% off sale. I'm like, why you do me like that? So mean. It's fine. I'm very pleased though, because like a 40% saving on anything is usually pretty damn decent. We love savings. I do actually have a pair from this brand. Well, their kind of former brand. They rebranded and thus this is their updated brand. But I do have a pair of theirs that I already use, which I do quite like. So I thought it would be nice to have at least 2 more. One of them is in my current size and one of them is in the next size down, which I wouldn't usually recommend for myself. But this year I have proven that I am, you know, keeping the streak alive, actually getting things done on my weight loss journey and such. So my sizing has changed. I don't know when I'll get into the new size, but at least I will have it for when I need it. And it was 40% off. According to the Vlogmas schedule, there are 3 videos that I can work on. One of them is the new journal migration, which sounds the most appealing. One of them is question mark, because I don't know what I'm doing for that video yet. And one of them is about managing my finances, and I'm not quite ready for it. So I guess that decision got made quite easily. Though I'm quite pleased with it because I'm looking forward to getting into my new journal. I'm already kind of working in it, doing my test run for, you know, last week and this week. Just figuring out the sizing and the layouts and that type of deal. But getting to populate all of my startup journal pages is always a very exciting transition time. Essentially, it's just me going through all of these pages and filling in the stuff that I want to or can before I actually, you know, start using the journal. The stuff that you can fill in before the time period actually starts. So like writing down my goals, mapping them to weeks, all of that kind of thing. This is a very unflattering angle for this tape because the tape is actually really beautiful, but if you look at it on an angle, you see how it highlights the light and it's like, oh, this is hideous. I actually do love PET tapes for the way they kind of blend into a page, but when you catch them on a certain angle, then they don't blend so much. I forgot my pen was in here, it's trying to escape. I'm also leaving my hair out to dry today. I'm gonna see if I like it. If I don't, then I will continue to put it back in a ponytail while my hair is wet, even though I know it's not particularly good for my hair. There are a lot of things I do that I know aren't really the best for myself, but I just don't mind so much. I would love to know, what is something that you know is bad for you, but you do it anyway, and you just don't mind that you do it? Like, sure, there are some things that I do that are not so great for me that I do care about and I would like to get better at either not doing or doing a better version of it or whatever. But there are genuinely some things where I'm just like, life's too short. I have too many other things to worry about. I do not care. And one of those is tying my hair in a ponytail. Okay, I thought about it a little more and I have the time today to get that finance tracking video done. It's a face forward video though, so I did go and dry my hair because while I am on ratio for 1 video per day for the remaining work days, it would be nice to get 2 done today and then the ratio looks even better. But we'll do the fun one first. The idea behind this layout though is that I have a little box to represent a certain value of money and essentially just taking the total that I hope to save across the 3 months and dividing it up by the number of boxes we have. Progress, that one is done now. I think I will plan and film another one, but right now it's lunchtime. I am weak-willed, so when Vogel asked if I wanted the makudo for lunch, I said yes. So here's my Chucky milkshake. I promise I am actually looking forward to getting back to cooking for myself, but for this week, when I'm still busy and I'm still trying to do a bajillion things, takeout is fine. But in the interest of making the ratio even better, although we have 1 video recorded, I'm going to plan and record another one. And I do very much need to figure out what that other video that had all the question marks is going to be. I don't think I'll necessarily figure it out today, but I should probably put the brain on it so then we can figure something out soon. Oh yes, we have another one that is exporting. We're just gonna ignore the fact that it's 7:30 and that was not my intention for the day. But it's nice to know that I am even more ahead of schedule than I was at the start of the day. You know, given that we had the ratio of 1, in theory I only had to get 1 video done today to stay on ratio. My ratio is looking even better. And while I could make the thumbnail for that one and get it uploaded and such, given the fact that it's 7:30 and I haven't had dinner, I'm gonna go do that instead. Also, because I'm taking tomorrow off, exciting, I'm not actually going to be home. I'm going to be at Rachel's house. We're going to essentially just start midweek mafia hangout early so that we can hang out during the day. But that means I'm not going to be home to help clean the house in preparation for Christmas Day. So Vogel and I are going to do that while we're waiting for his dinner to cook. I'm just going to have leftover noodle canteen from yesterday, which in theory was going to be my lunch today, but then he offered McDonald's and I am weak. So that one is exporting. I'm gonna go downstairs and get to tidying up, which might I also add, doing a home tidy and prepping for Christmas is part of the reset list, so this totally counts. Let's go. Vogel is already hard at work tidying up the kitchen for us, and I need to prep the table because this is not aesthetic. It's not the vibe. We also need to tidy up the stuff that's on the floor and make the lounge room look just a little more presentable, and probably a couple of other things like cleaning up the bathroom or something like that, just making it guest ready. But this shouldn't take too long. Famous last words. Let's do a thing. Alright, some progress has been made. Can't really do much in terms of the setting of the table until the placemats are washed. Vogel is going to move the box because it is heavy, and this towel is notably also going to go to the wash. And the kitchen is getting there, slowly but surely. We're kind of taking it chill. Thank you for putting things away. Appreciating you. Taking pause to have some dinner. Featuring my medication, yeah. If you have pills you're supposed to take, make sure that you take them. But also don't take pills that you're not supposed to take. We've done a little more, but notably have not touched the lounge room. I think that's just gonna be a tomorrow problem because I am tired. I feel like we actually have most things under wrapped, but I forgot to add potatoes to the shopping list.
And shallots.
Oh. And shallots. She double forgot. She forgot that she forgot. It happens. In my defense, I thought we had a shallot. We did not. I should have checked. It's fine. We still got time. But for now, we're going to go upstairs, watch some Critical Role in bed because we could watch down here. But we don't want to. We want to watch in bed because then we can just turn it off and go to sleep. Or more likely than not, we can just neglect the fact that we should be getting some more sleep and continue watching. We won't do that. Okay, we might. I've now jinxed it both ways, so it kind of cancels out, right? But tomorrow, given the fact that I'm going to Rachel's and we're going to be hanging out and all of that, I'm going to get a little bit of work done in the morning to upload those 2 videos that I sorted today, and also probably tidy up in the lounge space because I don't want to do any tidy up tasks when we're actually trying to like host guests for Christmas. Ideally, I want to have essentially as much done as I can so that then the day itself is very cruisy. That is the ideal that I'm hoping for. Vogel and I have sorted our plans for tomorrow though. He is going to do the vacuuming and finish tidying up the kitchen after he gets off of work, and I am going to tidy up the lounge room before he gets home so that then he can do the vacuuming nice and easy, and I'll finish setting the table properly tomorrow because I need to wait for my placemats to dry. This is one of those periods where I start to second guess everything, like have you actually thought of everything? Because you forgot the potatoes and the shallot, so what else have you forgotten? I'm sure it'll be fine. What I need to do is actually make a master list for Christmas prep. That is a good idea because then I don't need to put in as much brain work every single time. Like, I know that every year I want to do antipasta for lunch. Like, that is our kind of Christmas lunch, or my personal Christmas lunch. So rather than racking my brain trying to think of everything I need to get for it every single year, I could just write a list of everybody's favorites and then I already have that to work with. That would be smart. Not gonna write that right now though, because I'm gonna go upstairs and watch Critical Role. Jokes, I think I need to put away my clothes first. Wah wah. Ta-da! Really wasn't that bad. Got it done. Feeling good. For now though, it is time for bed. It is 10 past 11. Almost 11:11. Almost time to make a wish. And my wish is to get into bed. Probably shouldn't have told you that, now it's not gonna come true. Good night. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. I am apocalyptically excited because I just got invited to a wedding in May in the UK. So now I need to figure out putting that into my 2026 plans. But I've literally just been dancing around our bedroom like, oh my god, this is gonna be so good. But I can't think about that right now because all I need to think about is filling up my bottle, getting on the walking pad, and keeping this streak alive. Going to the UK was not on my bingo card for 2026. We haven't even gotten to 2026. I don't even have a bingo card. But I am very excited. I just need to make sure that I can make it work with flights and all of that kind of stuff. Not to mention, I just love love. I'm a sucker for a romance and a love story and all that kind of thing. So being invited to a wedding, Ah, ding. It's a sign. Okay, it's not a sign. Well, it could be a sign. Going to the class where I made this year was one of the most fun things I did this year, along with a bunch of other stuff. But anyway, let's get walking. The walk was most enjoyable, a little shorter today because I am feeling a little pinched for time because I want to head over to Rachel's as soon as possible, but I also have things I need to do this morning, one of which is tidying up the lounge room because it's not super messy, but it's not super inviting for guests. And given we have guests tomorrow, it would be nice to make it look a little better. Definitely looking a lot more inviting than it was, which is good. But I do still have some things that I need to put away. That one won't take very long, but I do need to do it. And Vogel's going to help me move that into the garage because I don't know exactly where he wants me to put it. Do not worry, I will still keep the streak alive on Christmas because I don't want to break my streak. It's really good. But I think that Vogel and I are planning on doing an outside walk, so that should be fun. That's a tomorrow problem though. One of my favorite things to have at Christmas time is more Wilson's orange juice, but it comes with pulp. And I don't like pulp. It's okay, I have the technology. There we go, beautiful pulp-free orange juice. It takes way too long to strain this, but I don't care because I don't like pulp. Things to do before I leave though, make 2 thumbnails, upload 2 videos, the ones that I'm making thumbnails for, and figure out what projects I want to work on today. Maybe planning a trip to the UK, possibly. That could be one of them. And also, we don't need to do any guesswork because I wrote it down yesterday. So helpful. In terms of the Christmas prep, it was mainly tidying the lounge, cleaning the bathroom, and restocking the toilet paper. So I think I will clean the bathroom before I have my shower, just so that then, you know, if I do get gross at all, I can just wash it all off. I'm already at my desk though, so we're gonna do the thumbnails and the uploading first. And in terms of projects, I'm kind of thinking if there aren't any like reset tasks that I could do while I'm out of the house, because a lot of them do require my computer or being in my physical space. But in terms of the brain work type ones, like planning and development and goals and such, and also mental, those ones I could do while I'm out. Actually, also social, planning Q1 social events, because the people who I would plan those with, I'm gonna see today. Does make it a lot easier when the people who need to be in the room where it happens are in the room where it happens. You know what? No, this is my day off. I am going to only do one of the thumbnails. I'm gonna do the other one later because honestly it doesn't have to be done today. That isn't necessary. But I do want to get to Rachel's in a timely manner, but I do have to clean the bathroom first. So bathroom cleaning, shower, getting ready to leave. Whoever thought putting this in the bottom of the stairs was obviously a fool because this is a giant tripping hazard. My bad. The toilet is clean now. And I finally went and removed all of those missing posters from Halloween. We liked them, so we kept them up for an unseasonably long period of time. But it's all good, their run is over, the bathroom is clean, it is guest ready. I still need to stock up the toilet paper, so no, it's not guest ready, let's do that first. Alrighty, that's looking better now, that's fine. Now it is shower time, which is good because I feel bleh. Feeling fresh, feeling clean, feeling like I don't know what I want to do today. I think I'm just going to take a collection of various items and work on whatever I feel like in the moment. One of those is going to be updating the 5-year journal because even though I have been filling in the daily entries, I have not been filling in the monthly summary, so I want to go back and do those. We will need the iPad and the tippy-tappy-typey so that then I can do some of that brain work for resetting. And of course my various other journals and writing implements so that I can get cool, calm and collected for the quarter ahead, which I've already kind of started doing yesterday, but I think there's a couple more things I want to add, like the UK trip. Oh my god, I'm so excited. But also kind of amused because I already had 3 other trips that I was planning or going on as part of quarter 1. So planning the Japan trip, which is going to happen in like quarter 3 or 4, planning and then going on the Korea trip, and then planning and going on the Christchurch trip. So we're just going to add planning a UK trip into that as well. It is definitely early days in terms of this planning, outside of the idea of, hey, yes, we're going to be there for your wedding. So yeah, lots to do, but very, very pumped. very pleasant day with my friends. Don't worry about the knives. We'll talk about those in a second. But we did declutter Rachel's closet, like her hanging clothes type of thing. We got rid of 10.1 kilos of clothes. That's like 22 pounds, a little over 22 pounds, I'm pretty sure. That is crazy good progress. In terms of the knives though, I'm gonna set the table for Christmas lunch tomorrow. We're gonna be having an antipasto kind of platter type thing. So this is gonna be for spreads and dips. Oh, Christmas tree, oh, Christmas tree. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. It's very like stop motion. Oh gosh. Oh, it's getting a little aggressive. My favorite is just the donut hole. Be-doo, be-doo, be-doo. There we go. It has knives, placemats, plates, glasses. Good enough. In bed now, very much ready to go to sleep. I am tired. I would like to get a good night's rest before tomorrow. But in terms of resetting tasks that were done today, mainly it was just pottering around in my planner. I didn't do all that much in terms of like a mental reset or a mind unwind or anything because I kind of want to hold off until the end of the week for that. But I did do my goal reflection for Q4, so that's good. I got some more details into my plan for next week, and we started talking very lightly about the idea of Q1 social plans, but we want to hold off until next week for that because we've got our other friend Emily coming down for our New Year's Eve hangout, so it's just going to be nicer to be able to plan with the 4 of us rather than just 3 of us and then having to fill somebody in. It just makes more sense that way. In terms of Christmas prep though, the house is looking pretty much ready, so it's really just going to be foodie kind of prep tomorrow. We don't have people coming over until 12, so there should be sufficient time in the morning to do exercise, keep the streak alive, do breakfast prep and all of that, and also any other prep we need to do. But it was a very nice day, just hanging out with my friends, not really doing so much work, just getting to be chill and chat with them, banter, have good breakfast because Jason made us kind of like a brunch breakfast, I suppose, with the pancakes and the bacon and eggs and all of that kind of stuff. It was really, really tasty. I definitely ate too much today. I'm very much full, which is problematic because tomorrow is an eating day. Christmas is all about the food. So I certainly hope I have enough space tomorrow to get my fill of Christmas food and feel satiated. But most importantly, it is time for sleep. So, good night. Good morning. Happy Thursday. Thursday? Thursday. Merry Christmas. Time means nothing. I'll look out for today. Christmas. But first, we started unwrapping presents because I got impatient and I wanted Vogel to unwrap some of his, but his were digital. But he got me a really nice candle. This one is a white sandalwood scented one. And he got me the matching room spray. So I just sprayed that just a little bit in here. It smells very nice. But now we get to watch him unwrap his gifts. But they're digital, so there's no wrapping paper. Checking his emails.
I have really not checked my email.
Yeah, I gave you a full inbox for Christmas.
Oh, here we go. Oh, thank you, Baba. You got me Spider-Man Miles Morales.
Yay.
It's probably so I'd stop talking about Expedition 33.
Maybe.
You got me something else as well.
Yeah.
Oh, no, really?
Yeah. What'd I get you?
She got me Until Dawn on Steam.
Yeah.
We will play this together.
Yay. Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Baba. That's so nice.
But notably, more Christmas to come. But first, we've got to keep the streak alive. Got to go for our walk. But we're keeping the lounge tidy, so we're going on an outdoor walk. Plus, it's a nice day, so we can do it.
Yeah, we need the fresh air.
Ugh. We're back from our walk and Vogel is preparing the toasted almonds for our bean salad and I am making batter for chalky pancakes. What you got there, Vogel?
Scoops ahoy.
Scoops ahoy, Vogel! Ice cream on pancakes. Ta-da, Brekkie! Mother has specifically instructed that I need to have syrup, so we're just gonna lightly go to town. I don't want it on my egg. Oh no, it's gonna get my egg! It's gonna get my egg! Breakfast, delicious. Dishes, done. Tidying up, need to do like a little bit more of, and then I can get on to preparing charcuterie boards for lunch. Oh yes. I love charcuterie. It's essentially just like a fancy name for snackle plate. Or at least that's how I treat it. I know like actual charcuterie is specifically meats and cheeses, in theory. I like to chuck other things on there too that are enjoyable to eat. But one of the things I love best about a charcuterie or snackle plate type deal is the presentation. It's just nice having all the little bits and pieces laid out because yes, it's like aesthetic for the gram, but also it just fills my heart with happy. But those are not going to make themselves. So it's time to get started.
Are you having a good Christmas?
Yeah.
What are we up to?
We're playing Takedo.
Yep, which is the little trek through Japan kind of journey kind of game.
Yeah.
Where did your fam go?
They went for a walk. So we were playing a game about doing a walk and they went for a real walk.
Yeah, well, we already did our walk today. We kept the streak alive, so we're going to play a game about walking.
Yeah.
This is the gift that brother and sister got Vogel for Christmas. Oh my god, travesty. We ran out of meths for the smoked salmon, so now we have to see if we can get more meths on Christmas Day.
It's okay, we were saved. They managed to get us a new bottle so we have the methylated spirits again and we can actually cook the slammin. I'm so excited for the slammin.
Yes, baby. Smoke as you. Ah.
Did you have a good Christmas?
I did.
Yeah, what was your favoriteest part?
Playing Takedo with the fam.
Yeah, and who won the first one?
Jess.
And who won the second one?
Jess.
You know why?
You also won the third one.
Wait, there were three?
You played a game with me before we played with the fam.
Oh, I wasn't counting that one.
Yeah, so-
Well, looks like I'm the winner. Do you know why I won so many times?
Because she always wins.
No, it's because brother wasn't here. He always wins. What's on the cards for right now?
Cleaning and Critical Role.
Yay, Critical Role, nay cleaning. And also making Boxing Day shopping lists so that we know what we want to pick up tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
In here. Ding!
Ding.
Vogel has done the majority of the tidy up for us, but there are some things that we just can't get through because we don't have the space or the bandwidth to do the drying. But that's all good because those bits and pieces can be tomorrow us's problem. Right now, Vogel is jumping onto his computer to do something related to his game, and I am thinking about writing myself a Boxing Day shopping list. Alrighty, there we go. I have a little list, and on the other side I put down all the places we need to go. But I am seriously tired. I'm very ready for bed, so I think I'm gonna slink away and do that, which fair given the fact that it's almost 10 past 11. Tomorrow is gonna be a chill day. Along with doing shopping and whatnot, the rest of it's mainly gonna be chill because part of reset week is about rest and recuperation. So it'll be nice to actually get some of that tomorrow. Anywho, good night, good morning, happy Friday. I'm just like, happy Boxing Day. It's Boxing Day. I am exhausted and sore. My ankle has decided that it is done for the rest of the year. I don't know. No, I'm still going to be keeping the streak alive. There are exercises that I can do that don't require my ankle. It's all good. But for right now, having some brekkie, prepping to leave because we want to go get some stuff at the shops, stuff at the sales. I'm hoping it doesn't take that long because I don't really want to be out all that long and I would like to have the rest of the day to be fairly chill. And I definitely want to get an earlier night tonight because we didn't yesterday. Like we didn't get to sleep until after midnight. That seems to be a common play. Bah, bah, bah. The world is also soggy outside, so I'm definitely not going to be going for a walk outside because even though I am getting new sneakers today, I probably still won't get waterproof ones because I like the ones I have and I just want them again. That's pretty typical for me. Once I find a piece of clothing or footwear or whatever that I like, or even a handbag that I like, anytime it breaks or, you know, gets used out, used up, all of that, I just go get the same one. A creature of habit. But this creature of habit needs to finish off her breakfast so that we can go. We are back from our shopping adventure. We managed to get a decent chunk of the stuff we were looking for. Couldn't find my shoes, which is a bummer because the hole in mine is getting worse. And I didn't find anything to deal with the skincare for my hand because, ugh. But that's okay. It's all good. What we did manage to get was a new external hard drive because mine is like pretty much full up and I need to be able to store all my video footage. We got Vogel a water flosser, so that's exciting for him. We got some PowerPoint adapters for our trip, so we're feeling ready to go on that front. And in particular, I kind of really committed to the idea of wanting a kind of transportable remote editing setup, and in order to edit my videos on the go, I needed a portable computer. So I have also ordered myself a laptop. That one sadly they didn't have in store, so I'm gonna have to wait for it to get delivered to their store and then pick it up. So that's a little bit of a bummer, but I did at least get a sleeve for it. So when it arrives, I can put it away safely. For now though, Boxing Day shopping is done, which means it is on to the very important rest period of reset week. I'm gonna chill on the couch, gonna play my game, have a good time, stay cozy. It is perfect weather for gaming today, so I'm very excited. Though I am also worried that I might fall asleep because I am also tired. Today for lunch though, we are having leftovers. And the gaming was going well, but then I started falling asleep on the couch. So I'm like, oh, I'll just have a nap because obviously the body is tired. And then I couldn't even nap properly. I'm like, body, please, let me be chill. But we're back because I need to defeat the Order of the Ancients. I have no idea where I'm going. Okay, up here it seems. Gonna follow that little marker. Come back, little guy. Probably easier if you zoom out because the map is big enough. Oh, I haven't explored this area. I have to walk there. This map is quite large, and the distance between viewpoints is larger than the last game, to the extent where I'm just like, yay, running simulator. I'm still enjoying it, and I would like to finish it, but I think for the next one, I'd like to be a little bit more engaged in the story itself. This one, I feel like I haven't done a great job of actually engaging in the story properly. Like, I know what's going on, mostly, but I don't think I've been paying enough attention. I do think, though, in terms of gaming, a day like today is really good for me, because I prefer to have longer periods that I can really get in and do stuff, whereas having just little bits of gaming time in the evenings, I don't usually get to make enough progress to make it feel like it's worth it. So I'm kind of thinking that for next cycle, it might be nice to schedule in some dedicated gaming days for myself. So kind of like save up my gaming time and have it all at once so I can make genuine progress. Not exactly sure how it's going to work, but almost in my mind, I want to have kind of like a soft productivity week once per cycle. So in every 4-week block, one of those weeks would be dedicated to being a little bit lighter in terms of work intentionally so that I could have a gaming day or whatnot. Because although I work for myself and have flexibility in my schedule and yada yada, I don't really make a lot of use of that
autonomy, I guess. I don't make a lot of use of that freedom. And I think that next year it would be nice to more intentionally use that freedom to have intentional leisure time. Not just like scrolling on your phone, not really doing very much time, which I very much fall victim to. Because another one of my goals is going to be related to breaking my addiction to Instagram reels. That's not a right now task though. Right now I need to go and defeat the Order of the Ancients. At least Running Simulator has a go-to marker kind of feature, so I don't actually have to steer myself. Look, Ma, no hands. Gaming time has gone well, in the sense that I completed a mission, but like, I don't know, people are making some poor choices. Not me though, my character's doing great. I might be biased.
Didn't your character try to bang his best friend's wife?
Yeah, but that's because we're in love and he's a dick.
That makes it okay, guys.
But now it's time for dinner, given the fact that it's 7:45. Well, we ended up watching 2 episodes of Stranger Things, so we have officially started season 5. And I get the streak alive, went and did a little walk, but just a small one because my ankle is still kind of pained. I just couldn't be bothered thinking of a different type of exercise to do, and I wanted to keep the streak alive. Though I do think I'm going to attempt to maybe not walk tomorrow. It's not so sore that I can't like put pressure on it or anything. It's just when it twists in certain directions, it doesn't love it. For now though, it is about 10:06, and thus time to think about going to bed, and actually going to bed, and going to sleep, and getting a good night's sleep, and maybe even sleeping in. The body won't let me. Let's not even kid ourselves. But I do think that as far as reset week is concerned, more rest is on the cards, but I do also have some genuine reset tasks that I need to do tomorrow and the day after. Which I'm both mindful of the fact that I want to get them done. It's like, oh gosh, are we actually going to get time for those? But then also excited at the prospects of getting them done and having that fresh start feeling on Monday. For right now though, what I'm most excited about is sleep time. So, good night. Good morning. Happy Saturday. We have many things to do today. Don't ask me what they are. I don't know what they are. I need to go consult my journal. I just know there's a lot to do. I do know that on the cards for today we have, of course, keeping the streak alive, actually doing some more resetting tasks so I can feel cool, calm, and collected come Monday, and also just some general work stuff. But to do that, I do need to get out of bed. So that's probably the first port of call. Okay, I literally just said that and then instantly opened up Instagram. The behavioral pattern is real. Like every single time I get like an ounce of boredom or I need to transition from one activity to another, like being in bed to not being in bed, it's like, I wonder what Instagram's got for me. It's such a problem. But I can't get rid of Instagram because that's the place where me and my friends majoritively talk. That's where our group chats are. That's where I, keep up to date with the yada yada. I know there's like some version of Instagram that people have which like doesn't have a scrolling feed or something. Maybe I need that version of Instagram. I can just see people's stories, I can access my chats, and I don't get sucked into a Reels hole. Okay, we are getting out of bed. See, we're going. It's happening. I'm taking you with me because otherwise it's not going to happen. There we go. I'm not getting back in the bed. We're going to make the bed. I know you're not, in theory, supposed to make the bed right after you get out of it, but I don't like leaving the bedding all scrunched up and snafu'd. Alrighty, getting our stuff together, getting walking, getting going. We are exercise ready, and I know I said I wasn't going to walk today. I'm feeling too lazy to figure out something else to do, so we're going to go for a walk today. We're just going to keep it chill. My ankle isn't feeling as bad as yesterday, so there is at least that, but it's not necessarily 100% right either. I'm not too sure what set it off, because I don't remember doing anything like dumb. It just decided, you know what, I'm going to be sore. That's probably not the case, but that's what it feels like. I also definitely have not drunk enough water recently. Like yesterday and the day before definitely was underhydrating, which is not ideal. So the body's a little frustrated about that. We also still have Christmas stuff on the table, which isn't ideal. We kind of went into like full easy mode after we got home from shopping yesterday. So still stuff to put away. And Vogel's dinner plate from last night. And the Christmas dishes haven't been put away, which means other dishes are piling up. Because that's just how life be sometimes. For now though, onto the walking pad, keeping the streak alive, because I very much want to make sure that I get to 218 come Monday. Like once I hit Monday, my streak will be 217. And then by doing exercise on that day, I'll be starting my new year with a 218 day streak. Yeah. Crazy. Wild. The intention was for a short walk. I went for about 28 minutes and I'm feeling pretty good about it. The ankle isn't too sore. I would still like to rest it, but it didn't hurt while I was walking. I think that's kind of the main thing for me, because if it hurts while it's walking, I'm not going to walk. Obviously, the angle at which I need to turn it to get it to be sore isn't the angle I use while I'm walking. Don't worry, I'm in the process of putting this away because I was trying to tidy up the table a little bit. I'm not just like randomly carrying around a butter knife. Well, I guess I kind of am, but anyways. Sadly, I did not make my overnight oats yesterday, so it's just just sitting here being powder. And initially I had made 3 of these for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but I didn't end up eating my one on Wednesday, so the Wednesday one got eaten on Friday, and then on Friday I didn't make up the rest of these, so now I have 3 pre-made ones, well, partially pre-made ones that have not actually been completed. So I think what I'm gonna do is make these up now, then I can have them at least for Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, or maybe I could have one of them for lunch if I start now, because one of the things that I very much want to get back into come next quarter is my meal prep, and in particular meal prepping for breakfast and lunches. And the breakfast that I had planned to meal prep was a cherry breakfast bar, which I really enjoy, and I've already got the cherries for it, and I want to make it, and I need to make sure I eat it before we go to Korea. So to be having that for breakfast, but then also this for breakfast, that's a little bit too much breakfast. I'll figure it out. I just need to go and plan out when I'm eating what. The overnight oats are made. The groceries have been decided on for the next couple of days. We've kind of like done a half meal plan for like a half week, and I still haven't had breakfast, so I'm not really sure what I'm going to do about that. But I might go have a shower and then have breakfast because I can't decide what I want to eat. This is what happens when I don't prepare my overnight oats. We are back in the office now though, feeling clean and fresh and ready for the day. It does feel really odd to be sitting back here in the office, given I wasn't really in here all that much on Wednesday or Thursday or Friday. And I am feeling like a slight discombobulated mess. So the first port of call is going to be figuring out my task list for the day. I did already start writing some stuff down for myself the other day, and I don't have a lot of a list from yesterday, which does have a lot of open space, but I'm probably not gonna go fill it in. I might jot down some of the things I did just as kind of like a record of accomplishment, but this is the one we need. Alrighty, the list is written now. It's looking much better, and I have a much clearer picture of what I want to get done. And I think to kind of ease myself into work, I'm going to start with some reset tasks. In particular, one that I started earlier in the week and didn't get all that far with, which is dealing with folder entropy, or effectively any kind of disorganization or clutter on my desktop, my documents folder, and in my downloads in particular. The desktop is already looking all good. There's nothing there, but my downloads folder has started to accumulate a couple things, so we're just going to go and deal with those. I don't think any of them actually need to be saved, but for documents where you're not really sure what's in them, what I like to do is open up the preview pane rather than going into every single document, because at least if I open up the preview pane, you just select the file, it shows you a preview of what is going to be on there, and you don't really have to worry about it. The only issue is that for the downloads folder in particular, some of them it's like, oh, this is being downloaded from somewhere escandalo, like what if I open this and it's a virus? Just show me a preview of the file, please and thank you. But it's okay, because the ones in here that it's like, oh, I don't know if I can do that, I can just get rid of them, I don't need them. There we go, the downloads folder is done. And now it's on to the documents folder, which I have left last intentionally because it's the one that's usually a bit more of a mess. I do not think that I'm going to do a full and thorough job of this, because one of the things I would like to work on a little bit more intentionally over Q1 is a bit of a digital declutter, but more so breaking that declutter up and doing it in stages rather than trying to do it all at once, which was in theory my idea for Q4. As far as computer folders go, it's not that bad, but it is still a little disorganized, and I wouldn't necessarily look here for those things, so probably something that I could do better with. I've got that one looking tidier now. I in particular just went and dragged a lot of them into the calendars and schedules folder that I just made. And as said, I would like to do a proper digital declutter, but that is not a right now task. We're kind of just getting ourselves, you know, set up for success for week 1 and beyond in Q1, and doing a full digital declutter right this very second would take more time than it would give benefit, at least in the idea of being able to start the new quarter feeling put together. So that means that the folder entropy has been sorted, and I think the next main protocol is going to be inbox 0, and I'm just gonna do my personal and my home inboxes, because doing my work inbox right now, it's too daunting. I've left it too long, it's become too big of a task, and I think I genuinely need to get some help with it. It very much needs to have a bit of a clear out and have some people responded to and all of that, but I do not have the bandwidth for that right now. But currently in my home inbox we have 22 items, and in our home inbox we only have 7, so that feels a lot more approachable. I'm going to say that this
this should take me no longer than 15 minutes.
Fully finished those with ample time to spare.
Which does make me feel like I should do some work on my work inbox. But that one has 413 emails in it with 112 unread. Probably, possibly more. And I don't want to. Okay, I got as far to at least set up some new folders so it can be organized. I'm not organizing it now. I don't want to do it. It's too much. But that's okay, because we're going to move on to a different resetting task that I can actually do. In particular, I'm going to tackle my finance section, and I have already gone and populated a decent chunk of the stuff that I needed to. Actually getting it sorted last week was very helpful. But since then we have of course shopped for Christmas and for Boxing Day sales and all of that kind of a thing, so I need to go and populate the finance tracker. That one shouldn't take too long because there's not that many charges. And then the next part, which might take a little longer, is logging all of my tax information with my tax people. The main part that takes the longest for that is just collecting all of the receipts, and I feel like this quarter I have actually done way better in making sure I've been collecting them as the quarter has progressed, rather than leaving it all for current Jess to do all at once. That is definitely a process that I would like to keep up with for next year. It's currently 12:12. I'm gonna give populating until about 12:20, and then maybe another 30 minutes to do the actual kind of logging of the budgeting stuff. Or logging of the information with the tax people. We'll have to wait and see. Let's get it done though. Yep, the budget logging took actually until 12:17, but it just ticked over. See, if I don't go too long between doing my loggings, it's not that bad. Now to do the tax logging. This job is made all the more fun by the fact that some of my receipts are physical, so I have to scan them in, and some of them are digital, and I need to go find them and download them. I'll get it done, I just won't love the process. I love the result though, because then it'll be done and I'll feel accomplished. So it took me just a little bit longer than I had hoped for, but I have officially logged all of my business expenses from the past 3 months. I'm feeling good about that, which means the last thing to do in terms of my financial reset kind of thing is to plan our Q4 finance review. Now this is essentially just where Vogel and I go over the expenses we've had in the household and kind of plan for the quarter ahead, or usually the month ahead, because we in theory do one of these per month. Ha 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 ha. Big theories. But given the fact that this is the quarterly review, it's really looking at the last 3 months and considering if we're happy or content with the amount we spent in different categories. So having the finance tracker up to date is definitely going to help with that. But more so I just want to jot down a couple of talking points or kind of have a look through the data myself and just consider if there's anything that I want to raise with him as like, I'm not sure about this, or maybe we should try and cut back in this area or anything like that. At the moment though, I'm feeling pretty good about stuff. Things seem to be balancing out nicely or in a positive direction. But I know at the end of Christmas period last year, it was very much a check-in to be like, so we might have overdone it on the gift spending. I'm pretty sure gift giving is my love language though, so I'm like, yeah, we probably did, but do I care? But I'm going to jot down some talking points to kind of guide us through that process, and then we can move on to the next resetting area. I ended up typing up a little kind of scaffold for myself for future finance meetings. So we have overview, like goal progress, a budget review, and then looking ahead, because that'll just scaffold all of our meetings in future and make it really easy to go through and just follow these steps. I very much like templates for that, because rather than having to rack my brain thinking of the things I want to talk about every single time, I can just use the template time and time again and then add to the template as we find other kind of bits and pieces that we might want to discuss. Essentially, I just like the idea of do the work once and use repeatedly, as opposed to having to redo the work every time that I'm coming up to prepare for a finance meeting. But that means that the finance related stuff is done. So the next thing to do is about personal development, and in particular, just listing stuff that I want to learn about, because one of the sections that I have at the start of my journal is my learning section. So thinking about books that I want to read, documentaries to watch, and courses that I want to take or classes that I want to take. And I figured that rather than pre-picking the stuff that I want to consume, I'll pre-pick the skills that I want to learn. I'm just going to type those ones up in a Notion document as well, because that is honestly the default place that I will go to look for that information. I don't have a whole heap on my list just yet, but I figure that having it in my Notion means that I can come back in and check in with it, add more stuff. And I do think it would be good to have some kind of scaffolding in there so I can group the different things that I want to learn about by different life areas or something like that. Because if I have a range of different subtopics that I want to learn about a bigger topic, it would be nice to have all of those grouped together. Especially because in learning about those things, I'll probably get some crossover in the learning materials. For now, it's time to go and hang out with my parents. They're coming over for dinner. We're just gonna hang out, maybe play some games, and also kind of formalize our itinerary for our Korea and Singapore trip.
which I do wish we had have done sooner because it would just be a little bit more peace-inducing, but it's just like getting everybody together to actually discuss that stuff, and also, you know, general life busyness outside of that has made getting firmed up plans a little more challenging. But it's all good. That's what today's for. As a complete side note, one of my gifts for Christmas was a scale, but more importantly, a scale that goes into negative numbers. So that way, when you're measuring something out of a jar, you can measure the stuff on the spoon by putting the jar on the scales and then zeroing it, and then take stuff out, it goes into the negative numbers, and the amount that it goes negative is the amount that you weighed out, including the stuff on the spoon. As opposed to our last set of scales that didn't do that, you could only do positive numbers on that one. So this is very exciting. In particular, I just think it'll be helpful for measuring things out in terms of, you know, the weight loss journey and all of that, and getting accurate representations of how much of any given ingredient I am using or consuming or whatever else. Big payoffs.
I spy Mom and Dad.
Notably, it is a fair bit later now. It's about 10:15, but it was a very good afternoon and evening with Mum and Dad. We got all of our planning in terms of itinerary stuff sorted for both Korea and Singapore, so I am feeling much more cool, calm, and collected about our upcoming trip. We also got to have a phone call with brother and sister and just check in with them, see how they're going, and that was also very helpful for asking some questions about what we were going to be doing and where we're going and all that kind of thing. We had our third day in a row of smoked salmon, this time smoked fresh as opposed to leftovers, with roast potatoes and bean salad, and that was really, really tasty. And it kind of just reminded me how much I kind of have missed home cooking over the past couple of weeks. And having gotten a lot of takeout recently, I do feel like I have been kind of missing out on the home prepared foods that we typically have. So I'm looking forward to getting back into that for Q1. But after dinner we played phase 10. Dad and I both managed to make it to the end of phase 10, but his points were better than mine, so he won. I came second. And now Vogel's just doing the dishes, and then we're gonna think about getting into bed. But given the fact that he isn't ready for bed just yet, I'm gonna see if there are any other reset tasks that I can do. Just kind of easy ones. Because in terms of resetting thus far, the majority of the digital stuff is done, minus some file backups, but I think I'm gonna hold off on doing the rest of the file backups until maybe honestly the start of next week, because I will have some of the Vlogmas videos to back up and also all of my photos that I need to get off my phone. So I might as well just wait until I get the footage off my phone to edit this vlog and then do all of the photo backups then. Finance stuff is done, so that feels really good. Goal setting and planning stuff is done. I might just want to go over the plans one more time, but I did transfer the kind of first week priorities into my actions list in my kind of weekly setup, so at least that is done. But one area that isn't quite completed is development, like personal development. We started that earlier today with reviewing, or like kind of like writing a list of things that I want to learn. But the other task in there was to review my Goodreads TBR, because some of the items got added to that list quite a while ago, and I don't necessarily want to read those books anymore. So it might be good to just go and do a prune. That shouldn't take too long. It sounds like a good before bed activity. Especially because as far as my TBR goes, it's only 121 books, which is not as bad compared to other people's. Like, I know some people have their TBRs in the thousands. I thankfully do not have that many on there, so it shouldn't be too hard to go through this. I swear some of these books I've had on here for such a long time, and it's almost like comical that I haven't read them because they're not very big books. Like, I have Steal Like an Artist and Show Your Work by Austin Kleon, and they're practically picture books. They're that short, so just read them. You know what? Maybe I'll just read them right now. Okay, I probably won't read both of them right now, but I could probably find one of them to read. It's now 11 o'clock. I just read one of the books. I read Steal Like an Artist by Austin Kleon. It was pretty interesting. I thought there were some good points. I think it was stuff that in theory I already kind of know, but I do note that there is a difference between knowing and utilizing, or knowing and acting on. So probably need to have a little bit of a ponder about some of the thoughts, but that's one more book towards my Goodreads challenge. I have pruned back my TBR though, and now there's only 85 books. One of them was pruned by reading it, but the rest of them I've just decided, you know what, no, that's actually not of interest to me anymore, or maybe I just kind of want to let myself recommit to the idea rather than just keeping it on there. Because ideally I want to be able to go and have a look at my TBR and be very much excited to see everything there. That's kind of the ideal for me. I don't necessarily think that at 85 books that is actually the case, but it is still better than it was before. For now though, it is 10 past 11 and I'm gonna go to bed. I might do a little bit more reading if I feel like it. Otherwise, I might just turn the lights off and actually go to sleep, which might be a better idea because tomorrow we have more resetting tasks that need to be done. Anywho, Good night. Good morning. Happy Sunday. I don't feel like getting out of bed, but I'm going to do it anyway. I don't think I'm going to exercise first though, because it doesn't sound super exciting, but I will exercise because we will keep the streak alive. On the cards for today, mainly the kind of final resetting tasks so that I can feel as cool, calm, and collected as possible tomorrow, because tomorrow is the start of my new year, which is both exciting and kind of daunting because I don't feel as cool, calm, and collected as I would like to yet. Vogel and I were also thinking we might go to the shops because I didn't successfully manage to get myself a new pair of sneakers the other day, because my sneakers have a hole and the hole is getting worse. And it would also just be nice to have some chill time in there too. Need to review my list and see what needs to get done in terms of resetting. But one thing in particular I know that needs to be done is meal prep, which I am both excited to get back onto and nervous that I'm going to fall off with, just like I did in quarter 4. I know that I won't have the same level of work outputs in quarter 1 compared to quarter 4, so the likelihood of feeling like I need to sacrifice meal prep to the productivity gods probably won't happen. But I know how helpful preparing my meals in advance was for my just overall health and my weight loss goals and all of that kind of thing. So getting back to it is something that feels very, I don't want to say necessary because that makes it feel like it should, but something that I know is going to do big benefits for future Jess, and that's what we're all about. Right now though, I need to get out of bed. Alrighty, I'm almost up. Let's go do some meal prep. I decided to put my exercise clothes on just in case I do actually feel like doing my exercise. We'll see if that happens, especially because it's almost 8 o'clock now and we're gonna be going to the shops. So we need to leave the house by about 9:30 because the shops open at 10, which means that I need to be getting in the shower around 9. So I have about an hour to do the meal prep, and if I want to, then also do my exercise and have breakfast. That should possibly be doable. I've decided that for breakfast, I'm making my cherry breakfast bars, which I have made before, so that doesn't feel like a scary, daunting new thing. It's a recipe I've made previously. And then for lunches, we're gonna be doing smashed avocado on toast with egg. Now, we were thinking about doing poached, but neither of us are particularly good at poaching eggs, and they get a little watery, and then sometimes you don't drain them properly, and they make the toast soggy. And then Vogel was talking about doing a fried egg, which I'm happy about a fried egg. But I do also find that I get a little particular about the cookedness of the white. And it's also the kind of thing that you don't fry the eggs in advance and then heat them up after the fact. No. So I was thinking maybe to try and do a soft-boiled egg that I can peel in advance so I can have the soft-boiled egg that I just put on top of the toast. Cut in half, does the whole yolk thing, and then have that on my toast. That might be kind of nice. So cherry breakfast bars, soft-boiled eggs. My breakfast bars are in the oven. They're looking pretty good. My eggies did get a little overcooked, but I'm sure that they will be just as tasty and just fine, even if not runny on the inside. Maybe jammy, I don't know. I haven't opened any of them. Well, outside of peeling them. But I do reckon my timing was a little off. I underestimated how long it would take me to do this, as is typical. So it's currently 9:30. I haven't done any exercise. I haven't gotten in the shower, and we still have about 22-ish minutes left on the breakfast bars. So I might go have a shower and then finish up those things before we head out. Ogle says we can go and do exercise later together. Yay! But for now, he's just figuring out whether Claire's tire pressure is okay. We gotta take care of Claire. Shower done and the cherry bar is looking gorgeous. But it's kind of time to start thinking about getting ready to go out. And I don't really want to be out for too terribly long because I have other things that I'd like to do in terms of resetting tasks. And as we've been going through this week, I've been kind of feeling like this reset week has been feeling different to others. And I think the main reason is because I know that at the end of week 1 of cycle 1 of next year, we're going away. So all of the kind of prep that I would typically be doing is kind of on pause for when I get back. That's not to say I can't do all of these things. It just feels like in doing them now, I'd only be able to apply them for a 1-week period. And then I'd go away and have to come back and like redo them anyway. The ones in particular I'm thinking about are the idea of mapping out when I'm doing certain actions for my goals, because I am essentially 3 weeks away from when I'm going to be actioning those things. So planning now when I don't know what the next 3 weeks is going to look like. You know, maybe I come back from our trip and I'm sick. So any of the plans that I put in that kind of 4th week can't really get done because I'm recovering. So to save myself from double planning or essentially over planning, I'm kind of holding off on doing those things. So a lot of the typical reset tasks that I have in terms of that planning haven't been done, but it is intentional. So I need to keep reminding myself like, no, there is a reason that we haven't done these things. It's okay. One of the things that was less intentional though is that I was intending on having an everything shower today, but I was so like, gotta get in the shower, gotta get that done so that we can go to the shops and whatever, that I didn't do that. So I might also make that a week 1 task for myself. Kind of do an everything shower just before our trip so that then when I go on our trip, I'm feeling super fresh, super clean, super ready for like a nice holiday, just like relaxing time with the fam, adventuring with them. But there are still other reset things that need to be done today, so we need to go to the shops to make sure that we get that out of the way. Our shopping adventure was most successful. I got myself a new pair of sneakers to replace the ones that have a hole in it and have the kind of fully scuffed off bottoms with absolutely no grip. And also got some underlayer thermal type things for Korea because it's going to be cold and I do not have any pants that are particularly warm. So I figured that layer plus the layer of my leggings that I typically wear should be okay. And if they're not, it's cool. I'll just get cold. It's only like 5 days, I'll be fine. But for now, I'm kind of thinking, what is gonna be the most high impact kind of tasks that I can do to make sure that I do feel cool, calm, collected tomorrow? And one of those is going to be pre-logging what I'm gonna be eating next week for like breakfast, lunch, dinner. I just figured that having it in advance will just help next week Jess out a little bit. That's not to say that logging my foods is a particular struggle, or at least in theory shouldn't be, because I haven't done it for a while. I was doing it very, very well in quarter 3 and quarter 2. And then in quarter 4, somewhere in there, I just completely fell off with it. So getting back into that routine, I already know for quarter 1 is going to be kind of tricky because we're, you know, here for a week where I'll be really actively trying to track things again, and then away for 2 weeks where I'll probably just give myself a pass because trying to track Korean and Singaporean food might be difficult. I mean, tracking food that you eat out in general is kind of difficult, so a full 2 weeks of food out, yeah. And part of me is like, oh, well, is there really any point in tracking in week 1? Yes, there is. Tomorrow is my new year. I will be starting the new year in a way that aligns with the goals that I have for myself, and that means tracking my foods. But to make it easier, we're going to track in advance. To do that though, I need to use my phone, so
Recipe logging is going fairly well. What I also want to do is make sure I've updated it in my journal, because for my weekly setup, or the one that I'm kind of trialing for next week, I have a space for a meal plan, but also a space for a meal log. And I've gone and stuck in my meal plan for breakfast. It's technically out of date now, so I do need to go and make some fixes to that. But I want to make sure that this is updated as well. That will definitely help me feel cool, calm, and collected. I officially have those in now for the majority of the days. I just need to confirm, one, whether we are doing date night, and if so, is it going to be on Thursday or Friday? Pretty sure it's going to be on Friday if we do it. I think we might be going to the cinema. We'll have to wait and see. And two, figuring out what we're doing on New Year's Eve, because I did invite my friends over, but some of them have said that they might have evening plans. Rude. They're allowed to have evening plans, it's fine. But I need to know if they're going to be staying for dinner or not. So I just went back and referred to the message that I had originally sent my friends. For New Year's Eve, we are doing a BDP day, which is board drink project. So everybody brings some kind of like snacky board. It's up to them as to what they want their individual theme to be. So it could be like a fruit platter kind of board, or it could be a charcuterie board, or it could be, I don't know, some kind of like a snacky plate or something. I'm not going to limit their creativity. We have a drink, so that's some kind of like cocktail or mocktail to share between everybody who's there, and a project that's very much kind of user-led. So it could be a creative project, it could be planning for the new year, just something to do while we sit and chat. Should be good. Just need to know if they're going to be here for dinner as well. Okay, they've actually started responding now, and I'm getting very much more excited. So one of them is going to be bringing a board that's all about like things to dip in chocolate. One of them is going to bring a baked goods board, so like sweet baked goods. Another is doing focaccia and things to go with the focaccia. And now I just need to figure out what I'm going to do. So something savory, I'm very tempted for it to be like sushi board, just because I'm a sucker for sushi. I love sushi so much. But is that biting off more than I can chew in terms of work to be done? Maybe, but also I still kind of want to do it. I'm sure I can figure something out here. I have updated the meal plan in my journal, so I'm feeling very good about that. But Dad has sent through the edited copy of our itinerary for Korea and Singapore, because we kind of just scribbled all over the paper documents yesterday and he was going to type that up. So now I can go and have a look through that and make sure that all of the details are correct, make sure that there's nothing to add or anything like that. And that will mean that the planning stages of our Korea trip, outside of actually like, you know, packing or whatever, are done. Oh, feels so good. Getting that document typed up is slow going, but I also realized that it's Sunday, and one of the things that my friends and I do on a Sunday is that we do kind of like a weekly photo dump. I'm not great at taking pictures, but this has definitely made me better at taking pictures. So essentially we just go through our camera roll, send through any of the photos that we've taken from the week, sometimes with a little explanatory caption or whatnot if people don't necessarily know what they're looking at. And it's just kind of like a nice way to keep people updated with what's going on in life, and also making sure that you're kind of on the hunt for peak moments in the week. As said, I'm not necessarily great at it, but one of the things that I also find difficult is actually finding the photos in my phone, because I do all of my videoing for vlogs on here, which means that then finding just the pictures to send through is a little tricky. So of course right now I'm trying to transfer the video footage from my phone, and violence. I definitely need to put getting better cables or something on my list for next year, because I'm pretty sure that it's not the computer's fault. Because, like, if it is, then there's a bigger issue at play, but I'm pretty sure it's not the computer's fault. I'm pretty sure it's not the phone's fault, which means that the issue would be in the cabling. I kind of always had the assumption that, oh, all cables are made the same, so it doesn't matter if I get, like, the cheap whatever kind of cable rather than the kind of more expensive one, because at the end of the day, what are we actually paying for? They should all, in theory, be the same. I do not think that they are actually all the same, which means that the majority of my cabling, like external cabling for my computer, is done with budget-friendly cables that aren't necessarily very good. And I think that a lot of my computer-esque issues would be solved if I upgraded my cables, but that also means redoing the cabling underneath my desk, which so I'm kind of two minds. I'm like, do I actually like actively go and try and update my cables and such so that I solve that problem faster, or do I wait until I inevitably move my office around again and then I'm gonna have to redo the cabling anyway? Because cable management is not my favorite thing. I'm not bad at it, but I don't love doing it. That is definitely not a right now problem. Right now it's just me and my phone and my computer having beef trying to get my footage off of my phone onto my computer. But I figured that in terms of a digital reset as well, this is a really good opportunity for me to get the rest of my photos from pretty much the entire year, if not just the quarter, off of my phone onto my computer so I can sort them out, delete duplicates, get rid of the ones that I don't really need anymore. I probably won't go to quite that much detail because I just don't have the bandwidth for it right now. But given that I want to do a digital reset in the new year, I would like to have all of the files at least on the computer so I can do that digital reset. So it's not going to be like the full project done or anything, but it's at least the steps towards getting me to a place where I can initiate the project or start on that in 2026. I got so fed up with it that I installed a separate program to do this, which is ridiculous, but you know, it's fine. This seems to be working better.
Hey Vogel, are we still gonna go on a walk later? Oh no, how come?
I can only manage Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Done my back doing our bank.
Oh, well you did a good job though.
Yeah, it's off to a good start. The concerning thing is I would say I'm not even a third done.
I don't know. I think that the progress is very evident and you've done great work.
Yeah, thank you, B.
You're welcome. Thank you for taking care of our house.
But that's okay. I will still keep the streak alive. I'll just get on the walking pad when we're watching Stranger Things or something. But for now, I am in the process of finishing off kind of that little rejig of the itinerary for our trip, just to streamline the information and all of that type of stuff. And I just need to remain focused on the task at hand because it really shouldn't take me this long, she says about pretty much everything she does ever. I think that it would be good to do a proper kind of like time experiment in the new year to really get a picture of how long tasks actually take me so I can be a little bit more accurate in my predictions. But I don't think that's going to be a start of Q1 job. I think that's going to be like when I get back from my trip kind of job, because I'd want to do 2 weeks worth of data because then you can take averages and such. For now though, we're going to finish this itinerary. We're going to send it to the fam. It's all going to be good. It is 6:07. I'm going to get this done before 6:30. And I'm going to start once I get a drink because it's hot and I want a cola. I'm not procrastinating. I'm actually not. I meant to get a drink while I was down there and I forgot about it. The drink has been acquired. It is 6:08. Nope, 6:09. Dang it. 6:30 is the deadline. Let's get it done.
Formatting between Google Docs and Microsoft Word has done me in just a little bit because it's 6:38 right now. But technically all the information is good. It's just the copy over formatting is not so good, which is very frustrating. See, my document has such beautiful formatting and then Google Drive just makes it ugly. So disappointing. But for now, it's time to go get some dinner. Vogel and I ended up having McDonald's for dinner and then just watching some Stranger Things on the couch before I got onto the walking pad, and I didn't do quite 20 minutes, but that's the thing. With my exercise streak, there is no minimum requirement, I just have to actually do some movement. So the streak is still alive. Tomorrow will be 218, provided I actually do it, which I will, because I think that the keeping the streak alive mentality is very much good for me. But before we continue with more Stranger Things watching, I just wanted to come back to the office and double check that I've done everything that I can for reset week in terms of getting myself cool, calm, collected for tomorrow. Previously, when I've been tackling my reset week, it has been very methodical. Like, I've gone through and really mapped out when I want to do what across the week so that I can ensure everything gets done. And this time I didn't do that. And I'm definitely noticing that I haven't gotten as much done as I normally would. But I'm also kind of okay with that because this week had a bunch of other stuff in here as well. Like, you know, we had Christmas, we had pre-Christmas plans, post-Christmas plans, all of that kind of stuff. And I think I gave myself a pretty good amount of buffer time to just be chill. And I'm looking forward to doing some more of that next week, even though I'm getting underway with goals and like trying to really get into that whole like new year, new me energy, even though it's really new year, same me, but working on things to make a new me. Yeah? And I think the thing with a reset week is that we can cram it with a bunch of different things that we can do in a variety of different life areas to really get that 100% fresh slate feeling. But the most important thing is really knowing what you want to work on for the quarter ahead, doing enough prep work so that you can enter the new quarter not feeling like a scatterbrained mess, and at least having clarity on the first couple of action steps you need to take for whatever your goals are going to be. Yes, having a full plan is totally nice, but things have a tendency to change across a quarter or across working on any goal. So really just having the next couple of actions is just fine. For me, more than anything, what I want to do right now is just go over my weekly dashboard, make sure that all of my information and like preparing in advance in here is good, and also start jotting down some notes for what happenings I want to assign to certain days of next week, because I know, for instance, in particular in the lead up to leaving for the trip, there are going to be a couple things that I have to do on certain days at the end of the week. So having those tasks mapped in would be just nice for not having them kind of kick around in the back of my head, feeling like, oh, don't forget, you have to do this on Saturday. Oh, don't forget, you have to do this on Friday. And that's kind of what I'm excited about when it comes to my new kind of cyclic setup, or at least the new weekly setup, is having those pre-sectioned out spaces for each day provided I don't get bothered by any white space that crops up. But I'm gonna take some time, fill that one in, and then just have a look over my reset checklist to make sure there's nothing else I want to do. I've got the plans written in though, and now I've been looking at my list of things to do on here, and in particular, a lot of work tasks got put off, but some of them need to be done before tomorrow, so I'm just gonna do those now. But thankfully those ones shouldn't take too long, it's just scheduling a couple of posts. I'm feeling ready for next week. I mean, I'd like to go to bed and have a good night's sleep and all of that first, but you know, I'll get there in a second. It's only 9:02. But the fact that I already had the full priorities list in, that made life easier. And I just really needed to make sure I reflected on what my routines tracker has in here, so then when I wake up tomorrow, I'm not actively working against any of these. One in particular is being up by 7 a.m, so making sure that I have my alarm on so that I actually get up and out of bed, ma'am. That would be useful. We'll talk more about what these priorities are and the routines that I'm tracking in next week's vlog, or from me to this camera, it'll be tomorrow. Mainly because for the next round of the challenge, I really want to kind of bookend the vlogs with, hey, these are the intentions that I have for the week, and then at the end of the week, it's like, cool, so this is what actually got done versus the stuff that is rolling over or I need to rethink or anything like that. Just to kind of give you a better snapshot of how my work towards my goals is progressing. I feel like that's been missing from our vlog series so far. Of course, if you have any feedback and you wanted to let me know about things you'd like to see, I would be very curious to hear about it. For right now though, Vogel and I are gonna go downstairs and watch some more Stranger Things. Probably only one episode because the next episode is an hour and a half long. It's like, if you wanted to make movies, just make movies. Don't mind my silly not really a hat, but even though my kitchen looks like this, and I definitely do need to do something about it, but I'm not going to do it today, and even though I didn't get every single last thing on my reset list done this week, I'm feeling pretty excited about next year. I need to remind myself that it is not going to be necessarily a 100% perfect start or anything. There is a very high likelihood of not accomplishing all of my habits and routines that I want to build on day one. But you know what? That's okay. For now though, I should probably take my silly hat off and at least put anything that's gonna go bad in the bin and then head to bed. Because starting the new year is going to go a lot better if I have had a good night's sleep. Especially if in theory, one of those routines is getting up by 7 o'clock. Need to make sure that then the body can actually do that. Not that I expected to get up any later than 7, because it doesn't let me get up any later than 7. It was preparing me for this. It was a good week though. I'm feeling good about it. And I'm so excited for 2026. Oh my gosh. But now for something completely different. Nope, that's the wrong one. I'm looking at this little light spot down here. I'm like, what is that? So that was an Stop making fun of yourself. So that wasn't that one is. Vogel is already at hard work. Wait, no, he's hard at work. I'm doing good.
He's hard? What?
You're such an egg.
My guy.
But also don't take pills that you're not supposed to take.
Go on, do it. Life's fun.
It was one of the most things. It was one of the most things. I'll get bled by the sun. Oh, it got me. It got me. I'm wounded. Hoping it doesn't take too long because I don't really want to be out that a lot. You can tell that I'm tired. She can't talk.
It's a soggy day. A soggy day. A day that is soggy. A soggy day.
I don't remember what I was saying at all. So, walks into a wall. Formatting between Google Dots and dots. That's how much I dislike it. Let's try that again. I'm definitely feeling much more prepared for 2026 though, and I hope that you're excited for the year ahead as well. What's also super exciting is the fact that we have the Change Your Life Challenge back for Q1. So if you wanted to join us in working on your goals for the first 3 months of the year, even if it's just one thing that you're really trying to intentionally focus on and make genuine progress on, we would love to have you with us. If you wanted to learn more about how to get involved, join up with the challenge and set your goals, then this playlist is the next one to check out. That one has our introductory video, our free workbook, how to fill it in, and more. So click or tap on that one and I'll see you over there.